Más a Lilly Sin Barrera los domingos. Welcome everybody. Once more, here we are Sunday and in Tribe. I want to wait a few seconds for all of you to start joining in. For those of you who are going to join in, some of you are going to watch the show later. Algunos de ustedes van a ver el programa luego. Pero bienvenido a este domingo para mí. Es domingo. Yo no sé cuando ustedes vean el programa qué día va a ser o qué hora va a ser, pero aquí yo hago el programa en vivo y usted luego lo puede ver si lo quiere ver a la hora que a usted le convenga, donde usted quiera verlo, a través de YouTube, al igual que a través de Facebook. So, yo les quiero dar muchísimas gracias a todos ustedes que se unen con nosotros todos los domingos. Thank you, everyone that joins us every Sunday, that supports the mission, that's willing to have deep conversations with us, that is not afraid to have those conversations, and even when we're afraid, to have them anyway. So, el tópico de hoy es los beneficios del coraje. So today we're going to talk about the benefits of anger. And this is not something that many people like to talk about, right? So many people like to say, no, I don't get angry. No, I never do that. It's called suppressing it, ¿verdad? Lo oprimimos, el coraje. Pero hay beneficios, lo crean o no, del coraje. So there are benefits that come out of anger. So we're going to talk about that today. I had to learn them. I think I've practiced it a lot in my life. I've had the opportunity to practice it a lot in my life, but I didn't know that's what it was. So he tenido la oportunidad de practicar el aprendizaje que viene a través de sentir coraje y cómo aplicar esos beneficios en cuanto sientes coraje. Y qué es lo que le sucede al cuerpo de uno y psicológicamente y cómo ejercitamos esa energía, cómo la encaminamos hacia el mundo, right? So that said, I first always like to thank those people that I've spent time with, who've taught me a lesson, who've shared, poured into me, and even those who've taught me a lesson, although their intentions might not have been as clear as I would like them to be. So that said, I would start by the Brain Injury Alliance. Comienzo con dejarles saber que este sábado fue la caminata del Brain Injury Alliance. Y yo, como soy sobreviviente de una herida cerebral, para mí fue un honor caminar con otros hermanos y aquellos que nos apoyan en esta caminata. So we had the opportunity, so I'll start with some of these goodies, right? So we had the opportunity to be part of the walk of the Brain Injury Alliance. It is the only board that I participate in, although I've been in several boards through, my career. But this one touches me really, really deep because I know what the mission is and I know the many benefits that many people can get if they choose to use their services and find out about these services. So la caminata trajo muchas personas a pesar que estaba frío, a pesar de que pues no esperábamos la cantidad de gente que llegó porque pensábamos que iba a haber hasta menos de lo que esperábamos. Porque estaba frío. Ay, Ricky, ¿cómo estás? ¿Cómo está todo el mundo en Puerto Rico? Cuéntanos. So we have people from all over the world, I can say at this point, that support our mission and walk with us and share with us. Se les quiere mucho ustedes también, cómo están los nenes. That walk with us, that talk to us, that share with us, que nos ven a través de las redes sociales, que nos conocen personalmente, que conocen el trabajo que hacemos, que conocen que lo hacemos de corazón. Pero quiero darle muchísimas gracias a todos aquellos que me apoyaron, que nos apoyaron. Saturday, the Brain Injury Alliance kicked butt. So congratulations to the entire staff. They really, really, really kicked butt. The entire staff. They were amazing, incredible. They pulled off an event although the weather, it looked like it was not in our favor, my husband and I could walk. I was surprised by my girl, Juanita. And, night before she called me, she said, I want to join. And I was like, did I miss something? She's like, no, 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 I'm going to the walk. And that was amazing, amazing. My buddy Tommy. So fue espectacular. So I'll start with some of your comments and then we'll jump into cuáles son los beneficios del coraje. Por aquí está, y no tengo lentes, so, ¿cómo estás? Oye, pero ¿qué estás comiendo? That looks delicious. What the world? How could you do that to me? It looks delicious, delicious. Udo está en Puerto Rico con su familia. He is in the island of Puerto Rico, where I'm originally from. And he says, we are well. We have electricity now and water, and the boys are super big. And here's my girl, Wanda Adlers, and she always has something pretty to say, like, hey, blind bat. That's what she's calling me because she knows it's really hard for me to see without my glasses, especially with this much lighting. So, although you're being mean to me, Wanda, I was thanking you and telling everybody how great it was to have you there with me. So, jaja, ¿viste? ¿Cómo te sientes ahora? Ajá, ajá. Me encanta escuchar que están bien. Elote. Ay, explícame qué es un elote. So, you see, this is how she treats me. You guys better get her. Get her. But I wanted to share with all of you that I was so, as a board member is one thing, right? Because you're sitting there and you're going, oh my God, I get to work with these wonderful, wonderful people. I mean, like, I'm mesmerized by the type of work that they can do. So increíble. And on the other side, as a survivor, you sit there and you go, wow, there's so many people loving us, and so many others who need that kind of love. So eventually we will have, actually sooner than later, we will have some people from BIAC here, from the Brain Injury Alliance, and they'll be able to tell us exactly what they do. As a board member, I could probably give you snippets, but I think it's so unfair for them not to have the opportunity to do that. So I thank you for joining us today. I also want to express my gratitude. We had dinner with a couple and one of our dear friends. And it was a really nice dinner. It was lovely. And then on Saturday, we went for the walk. And so I'm going to get to our topic very soon. So follow me. You got those $50 on the table today. $50 están en la mesa hoy. Si me siguen, si caminan, si hablamos sinceramente. Entonces el sábado por la noche tuve la oportunidad de comer en casa de mis primos, su esposa y Miguel, los dos son, primos de nosotros. Y una amiga de nosotras, pues, estaba presente y me textea y me dice, vas a ir porque te tengo una sorpresa. So, on Friday, we had dinner with friends. On Saturday, we went over a family member's house. A friend of mine was going to join. I didn't know, but she was joining with her husband. And she said to me, are you going to attend because I have a surprise for you? But listen to this surprise. It was another person. It was another person who I like very much. And I thought, wow, this is super cool that another human being, and there was another human being too, her husband, was part of my surprise. And although I didn't know him, I know my surprise person. And it was beautiful to know that it was not a material thing, and that it was a human being. So that was super, super enjoyable. And the conversation was great and lots of love, great food. So, compartiendo el pan como siempre en elote. Me vas a tener que decir qué es elote porque la gusto que no sé. So, you already saw what Wanda's doing to me. And here they are. This is already the fight, the sports fight. Different teams. Here we go. And they're there. It's good that we're talking about anger today. They're going to be good examples of that, aren't they? So vamos a hablar un poco de eso. Yo siempre comienzo con lo que agradezco because I know that if we talk about gratitude, here's one of the few things, or many things that people tell me all the time. I annoy people because I'm too positive. The other side that they don't know of me is when I say corn on the cob, street corn. Ah, thank God. Eso es lote. Dios mío. Oh my God. I hope my mother's not watching anytime soon because she'd be so embarrassed. Lote is corn on the cob. I did not know that. Show off, Wanda Ehlers. So I want to share with you that sometimes when people think that you are super positive and you're that kind of, oh wait, there's more to that. Super positive and you're a yes person and all of that kind of stuff, they expect you never to get angry. Never. What about you guys? And anger is an emotion, a natural emotion. Es como mazorca con mayonesa y queso. Es mexicano. Oh my God. So it's corn on the cob with mayo, cheese, and it's originally from Mexico. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Guto, that looks delicious. That looks delicious. So I do want to share with you guys that we did very, very well at the walk, and that had a lot to do with all of you and your support. So let's get into the nitty gritty. Let's talk about why we get angry. So let's see how many of you are going to join in and talk about anger, because people like to talk about the blessings and I'm happy and all of those are like marvelous. But why do we get angry? So you have, I love this because my youngest granddaughter, she's into the feelings road now. So she has happy, sad, surprise, a cry, angry. So she knows the words, and I think she can associate the emotions with it too. But we like happy, we like surprise, we don't like sad, and that's another show. We'll talk about sadness. But anger is one that people never want to talk about. But when you suppress anger, what do you guys think happens? Help me out here. What do you think happens when you suppress anger? What do you think happens? Las guerras, las peleas que tenemos, las parejas que ya no se pueden entender el uno al otro, ese coraje que se vuelve agresivo. And I always challenge people who say things. I say it like it is, and if you don't like it, then that's other. It comes from anger, and I don't think it's always so kind. So I'm really, really cautious with that whole, I say it like it is, and if you don't like it, the blah 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 blah. I think that's also a lot of anger, and it concerns me. But where does anger come from? Where does it come from? Did something happen? Did something trigger you? Comes out on the wrong person, wrong time, when you suppress it. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, para todos ustedes que no saben y se imaginan, no, a mí me da coraje, yo doy unos minutitos, me voy al gimnasio, that's it, and I'm done with it. Are you? Because I've had those moments where I will be pissed off and I can exercise, I can listen to my music, I can do all of that. And then I'm like, and it helps me process. But I'm talking about that anger that shakes you to the core. So things that anger me: injustice, racism, all the isms anger me. I was like, we don't have time for this. Why are we still doing this kind of stuff? Communities fighting one another, not listening to one another angers me. Families tearing each other apart angers me. So what do you do with the anger? That is the real question. So mine, I've applied it to social justice. advocacy. Hey, Eddie. Social justice, doing the things that I believe can have an impact. So taking my anger and saying, yes, I am angry about this, but I got to put it somewhere. El gobierno, the government makes you angry. I hear you, Guto. I hear you. I hear you. Where are they going to put the money? What are they doing? Why are they doing this? What are they doing that? But here's the thing. Who gets involved? So there is a lot of anger that we have, right? And nobody wants to say they're angry. No, I'm not angry. I'm disappointed. I hear people play it down all the time. I don't, I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed, or I'm having a bad day. No, it's okay. You're angry. They pissed you off. You're seeing stuff in the world that you don't like. Your kid said something that you're going, oh my God, just, I love them, but boy, don't I like them. Anger is a natural emotion. It is a natural emotion. Natural. Right? So you're feeling a discomfort with something. What is it? What is it? So if we don't know what we're angry about at times, right? It takes us a little bit to figure out what we're angry about. So I'm going to share some of, like I said, Kuto just said the government makes him angry. I think, there's any, many people will agree with you, including me. It makes me angry, and that's why I get involved a lot in the local politics, state, federal, all of that kind of stuff. Where's the money going? Who are they giving it to? Who can we trust with it? Who can we not? Some people surprise me, pleasantly surprise me. Others don't surprise me because I've seen their practices, and others I've just kind of ride with them because I don't know what's going to happen. So the government. So then, what do you do? What do you do? Do you get involved in your local politics? Do you start figuring out where your city hall is? What are people doing? Do you make the appointment? So there's this woman who put together Tanta Muerte con Jóvenes. I'm with you. I'm with you. Guto expresses that, one of his anger is when he sees so many young people dying. I think Warren Hardy would be right there with you. Hi, Dina. How are you? Yes. It's horrible to hear that. So where do you put your anger? So here's what scares me: when people don't express their anger, don't have the skills to do that. And we do this a lot to our kids. Don't be angry. When I talk to my 16-year-old granddaughter, I say to her, I hear you, you're pissed off. Let's talk about this. Yeah. Yes or no, it's okay. But you made me aware of it, right? You can't kick me in the gut. You can't do any of that. None of that is acceptable where I come from and where I stand because I have my boundaries. But I do want to know, because maybe we'll get to a very, very delicious place until we can put that anger to good use, right? However, when that anger simmers inside of you, it's coming out. Eventually, it's going somewhere. It's going to affect you. It's going to affect someone else. It's a generation and a generation and a generation. I have family that are angry since I was a child, and I still can't ask why. Do any of you have any of that? Family that I know that this one doesn't talk to that one, and that one doesn't talk to the other one, and we can't hang out with this one at this time and that time, and we got to stay away from this one when this one comes over, because, if not, we have a whole, a war zone. But when I ask the questions, people are like, it just happened. It was a long time ago. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. It's like, okay, so we're never going to deal with that. Guto says yes. Hey, man, I feel you. I feel you, Guto. I feel you. And here is Maji. Maji. How was the biggie yesterday? I love you too, cuz. So we're talking about anger. So anger is not an emotion that Not until you get to therapy. Some therapists are really good if go to therapy, or you talk to your religious leaders, or you talk to your spiritual leaders, or your loved one, or whatever, that will let you express, or even get you to the point to say, "You sound like you're angry." No, 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 no. I'm not angry. No, 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 no. I'm not angry. I'm just frustrated. I don't like what happened. I want to take care of it. Okay, but what happened? You know what happened. You know the people who talk and never use words? Do you have those people in your life? I have many, and I work with many. You know, you were there. Well, it didn't hit me the same way it hit you, right? So it's important to figure out what. And what do we do with the anger? So some anger can be worked out in the gym. Then it takes a couple of hours or whatever it is. But you never, I love this, Kulto, and I'm going to put it up. You never get to heal. If you don't feel it, work it, deal with it. Because I guarantee you, because I've lived it, when you store it away and pretend it never happened and you didn't have that feeling and da 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 da. I'm not talking about you confront people and get into somebody's house and get into a fight. I'm talking about, where do you direct that anger? Where does it come from? What do you do with it? So you stop talking to your loved one for like 10, 15 years, 20 years, and then you forget what happened. And then there's the funeral, right? And this happened to me several times. And you're going, who's that person? Why are they crying? Why are they screaming? What it happens that they were a relative. And you're like, really? Who are they? I don't know who they are. But now, as Kuto says, you will not heal. But anger offers you something. Do you all know what it offers for some of you? Let's see if we can have a real discussion. What does it offer? Well, I hear this a lot: protection. If you know I'm angry, I don't have to deal with it. You stay away from me. I stay away from you. We never have to deal with this issue. You stay over there. I stay over here. You know your place. I know my place. Um, I've been in that place too. And sometimes that's all you can do. That's all you can do. And take yourself out of a toxic environment. But what do we tell people when we get angry? Do we ever tell them that we're angry? And I'm not talking about blasting. I watch people say, "I am angry," blah, 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 blah. They call each other names, blah, 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 blah. I'm not, I don't think that's healthy at all, in my opinion, right? My humble opinion in my journey. I do think it's okay to say to someone, you know what? I am angry and I need to move back. I'm not quite sure, like, what trigger it. I know that when you said XYZ, or when I was in that meeting, or when I was in the company of such and such. So I don't know if it was a trigger of mine. I don't know what happened. I need space and time. But guess what happens when you tell people you need space and time? What do you think happens to people? Do they give you the space and time, or do they have time and space that you can take? That's my favorite one. Are you there yet? Are you there yet? Can we talk about it now? Can we talk about it now? No, I'm not done yet. 6 feet away. Yes. Sometimes you do need to stay 6 feet away. So I have said to people, and this is why it's so important to me, because you know what, it's happening. For us who do the work that we do, we have the privilege of serving, or doing, whatever it is that you do from the bottom of your heart, advocacy and all that kind of stuff. When it starts getting cold, I get questions like, are you making a difference? Come on, it's cold out there. Why do you have to be out there? And sometimes it annoys me. I'm like, oh my God, can we not have this conversation again? I committed to this. I am doing this. I've explained this to you 100 times. We're doing this. As long as I can breathe, as long as we can pull it off, we're doing this. Do we have to explain this again? Conflict. Oh my God, Kuto, you're so on it. Trae frustración. Oh, it's so true. Kuto, you're like on it. Where is your other half too? It brings a lot of frustration, a lot of frustration, a lot of frustration, but you don't talk about it. I've had to say to people, I cannot have this discussion with you again. I get it that you don't get it. Or I've said to people, I am angry and I can't even tell you why I'm angry. So I'm going to have to work on this one. I'm going to have to work on this one. I'm going to have to work on this one. But the one that people don't like to say, I'm angry. But when you suppress it, it comes out. So The Body Keeps Score is a great book if anybody's interested. So tu cuerpo tiene la tarea, ¿verdad? No tarea, la tarea. Tu cuerpo comienza a tomar nota del coraje que tú tienes, del sufrimiento que tú tienes, de lo que te está pasando y comienzas a enfermarte. So there's a lot of scientific data that proves that suppressing your emotions, the level of stress, all of those things can cause all kinds of physical health issues, high blood pressure, heart attacks, asthma. A lot of people get, emotional asthma, palpitations, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, suicide, anger, shooting, stealing, a lot of that. There's rape that happens, all of this. We've seen it in domestic violence. It's the unspoken anger, the constant, I am angry. And then other people use it as a weapon. You know the people that always have a headache? You know those people? How are you doing? Oh, I have this headache. How are you doing? Oh, I have this headache. How are you doing? Oh, I have this headache. And I'm not talking about a condition. I am talking about people who've conditioned themselves to be what? In pain. Do you know those folks? I do. I do. You want Tylenol? You want Advil? You want? No. I'll take care of it later. It's a form of avoiding stuff. I said to someone, where are your headaches coming from? She's like, I don't know. I get them all the time. I'm like, I'm just trying to, can I help in any? I just get them and I just deal with them. Okay. It took about a year when she said, when I get angry, I get headaches. When I get angry, I get headaches. And I'm like, so do you want to talk about why you get angry? No. I just deal with it because we feel stronger. How many of you think that you actually feel stronger? Stronger because I can deal with it. I can handle it. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. I'll go a little bit deeper for you. There's, I mean, yeah, it is so true. So many times we say, why me? Why did it happen to me? Why did I get sick? Why? Why is okay? So I was watching this comedian the other day, and I want to share this with you guys. I think her first name is Liz. My husband can correct me if I'm wrong, but last name is Pereira. And she's Colombian, and she had this amazing comedy show. I just happened to bump into Netflix. Loved her. But one of the things that she talked about was all of this people being, you are positive, you can call anything into the universe and it will happen. And I was like, oh my God, this is one of mine. I believe in positive energy. I believe in it, but I also believe that there is a truth to dealing with what's in front of you. What's in front of you? What's happening? So now we don't deal with anything. No, I can't have anything toxic in my life. Okay. Is that really toxic, or is it because you don't want to deal with what you have to deal with? No. I don't like it, so I let it go. Was it not good for you? That's why you let it go? Or is it too hard to figure out why it wasn't good for you? So the reason I bring this to your attention is because I am one of those people who had to learn how to admit that they were angry. Because in the line of work that I've been all of my life, it is very easy to go to the rally. Well, not very easy, but it's easy to go to the rally. It's easy to go to the LOB. It's easy to get in that, boardroom. It's easy to, we're gonna put in the good fight. And then I wanted to do it differently. I wanted to work with people that were fighting on the other side. I wanted to try to understand, I didn't always get there. I don't always get there. I wanted to try to understand why we were on opposite sides. What was going on? Was there anything I could say or anything they could tell me to get me closer to understand? So, had I not been able to remove some of those barriers and say, I'm angry, and this is what's happening in my corner. I hear you're angry. What's happening in your corner? That's when I started learning that there was a different way of conducting my advocacy. Because the conversations used to go this way. We got this. We know the people that know the people. We'll be there. We'll be there at 5:00. This is not going to happen. They're not going to kick you out. They're not going to do this. They're not going to do that. We got the paperwork. But then I thought of what happens if we actually talk? Well, what happened was we started building programs together, and we still fought. What happened was that some family got closer, and we could laugh it off at times. I got mocked. Some people, still in my family, call me Mother Teresa. Oh yeah, you want to fix it all, blah 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 blah. But they accept me. There's the B word that walks around me a lot. The name calling. And then I learned that's what you think of me. That's not what I think of me. So you own it, not me. That's your bag. You own that bag. It is so important that we as a community start identifying, because we're many of us are part of communities. Start identifying where that anger comes from and where we're going to put our energy and how we're going to do some of that healing. How are we going to do some of that healing? Because when I talk to my brothers and sisters who are unsheltered, there's years and years and years and years and years in many of their lives where they've been invisible, not heard. It's like their wallpaper. And there's anger. There's a lot of anger there. A lot of anger there. Some of us are in places where we could say, I don't go there because I just don't fit in. It's not my thing. I don't feel good. It makes me feel uncomfortable. But many people do not have that privilege that we have. So what do you do when you get angry? Jump on. Tell me, what do you do when you get angry? Can you recognize it? Oh, yes. When you give us stars, you can buy now stars. People are asking me this. You can buy stars, support our mission, and you literally buy stars. You press on that thing, what does it say? You can support me by sending stars. Stars help me earn money to make more content. And for us, the content is these conversations and going out and serving our brothers and sisters and doing the advocacy that we do and bringing you guests. Like we have a whole bunch of guests lined up coming up. So la sociedad te obliga a pensar que es así, es lo que tiene que resolver y no hablar de las cosas. You know what? This is a great point, Kuto. I'm so glad you're here too. It makes me think about the times that we were breaking bread together. So society has, through generations not accepted, us talking about anger, right? You pull out your fist, I pull out mine, and I'm talking psychologically, physically, emotionally, whatever you want, financially. That's a weapon. That's the biggest weapon. But we have been trained to not be angry, right? To not be angry. We've heard the thing of, you want me to give you a reason to cry? You want me to give you a reason to be angry? You get, and this is not accusing our caretakers or anything like that, because they didn't give a chance to do that either. But some parents turn the curve. And I wanted to turn the curve with mine. And so that's where she came. Oh, mom, I hate when you say you have to process. ¿Qué es eso de procesar, mami? Me vuelves loca cada vez que tú dices eso, que sí, procesar y procesar y procesar y procesar. But that was the only way I knew how to work with that. How do I process? How do I process this? What do I do? I do not like to yell and scream. It's not. Step back and breathe. Oh, that's such a good one. That's such a good one. Having people on your tribe, in your circle. Tener gente alrededor tuyo, en tu círculo, que te puedan decir, te voy a agarrar la mano, vamos a respirar. A lo mejor el coraje es conmigo, yo no sé. But I love you enough to hold on to you right now, because I can feel it. I can sense it. I don't know what it is. I don't know what happened. It's all good. Let's step back together. Let's breathe. And sometimes you have to do it all by yourself. All by yourself. And that takes a lot of bravery. Arrastran los problemas hasta sus hijos y no le ponen un punto final. You know what? It's so true. We repeat and repeat and repeat history. It's like we don't know it happened. We repeat and repeat history. And we carry it over to our children and our grandchildren and whatever. And then we forget. We forget about the impact of that. So when somebody says they're angry, they have a right to say they're angry, right? They don't have a right to be smacking anybody around and all that kind of stuff, But it's okay for you to be angry. I've had people say, I am not watching your show anymore. You piss me off because you stand for this, you stand for that, blah, 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 blah. I've had them face to face. Face to face. And I said, I appreciate you sharing that with me. And I will miss you on the show, but you need to make the right decision for you. This is not a show where we shy away from talking about the nitty gritty. Because if not, I would not be breaking any barriers whatsoever. So Margarita shares with us, pray and let go and brush it off and keep walking. You know what, Margarita, I want to ask you, how do you pray? What do you pray for? Because we all communicate with a higher power, if you believe in one, or the universe, or the trees, or the mango, I don't know, whatever it is that we believe in. I call it God, but how do you pray? How do people pray? Because I've heard people say to me, oh, no, you can't get angry at God. Well, let me just tell you, I get angry. I get in my car and I'm like, no, come on. I already went down that exit. Yes, I saw that person. You know that I do this for a living. You know I have to get home. Why are you giving me this feeling and this thought that I have to go right back around and share X, Y, or Z with this brother? I just served 50, 60 people. And I hear this in my heart and in my head that says, you better turn around, because you won't be able to sleep tonight. You better turn around. Because you won't sleep. I get mad. I get mad even doing the right thing. I get mad sometimes. How do you pray? I would love for you to tell me, Manny, how do you pray? And then how do you brush it off? How do you brush it off? So some people go to prayer. Some people go to prayer. Some people go to prayer, gym, prayer. Some people, do sports. Some people don't want to talk. Some people don't deal with it at all. Some people yell and scream and break things. Some people. Well, as you're watching that, what kind of person do you want to be? And it takes practice. It takes practice, especially if you've learned. And therapy. my therapist would say, so does that make you angry? I'm like, well, no, not really, because, I understand where they're coming from. And finally, I got to the real therapist. The one was like, okay, so you're making excuses for the way that they behave. But I was like, oh, I'm ready to fire this girl. I'm glad I did it because she has taught me a lot, a lot, a lot. It's been many, many, many years. So who do you learn from? Is there anybody in particular in your life or in your journey that you could say, when I watch this person do it, I go, I want to get there. I want to get there. I want to learn from them. That's why I'm an avid reader. That's why I listen to stuff. I listen very, very good to people's words, to their actions. I listen to actions. I know that sounds crazy, but I do. They're very loud to me. I sometimes hear how people treat me, and then they treat others. And if I see that the treatment towards me is, and then they go and totally torture and abuse the other person, I go, that could be me next week. So I gotta walk with my eyes like this, super open while I make a decision. So what do you do with anger? So I'll give you my strategies that I give out in trainings. First of all, I recognize it. How do you recognize anger? My ears get red. My ears immediately is like I'm, a boiling pot of water. My ears get red. My neck gets tight. My breathing gets interrupted. So I have to go for that deep breath, right? And I swear to God, my eyes do something. So it's amazing what anger can do. So tú eres la inspiración a seguir, poder ayudar a tanta gente como tú. I do appreciate that. But trust me, I learned so much from service, and I learned so much from the trust that you all in the community give me. So Kuto says you are an inspiration to follow as the way that you help people. One that says some people overeat. Oh, this one is a good one. So I'm going to put it up for you guys here. Yes, you can buy the stars whenever you want. Yes. After the video, during the video, yes, you can purchase the stars. So thank you. Thank you for the questions. So one that tells us some people overeat. Oh, Wanli, you are hot, hot, hot. Some people overeat when they're angry. Yes, yes, yes. Drink. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, I've had that conversation. I need a glass of wine. Yeah. And slowly fall apart. Oof. Slowly fall apart. This one is painful because sometimes by the time that you start seeing yourself or someone else fall apart, they've been dealing with this for a little bit, if not for a long time. So maybe the drinking gets out of control. Maybe the overeating gets out of control. And so slowly, and although I'm sure that for the person who's feeling that anger and that pain, it's not slowly. Does more harm bottling it up. I totally agree with you on the inside. It boils, it burns, it becomes part of your life. You start distrusting everybody, like everybody. I'm not going to go out. I'm not going to socialize with anybody because, this is how people are. This is the way people behave. And you can't trust anybody, blah, 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 so on and so forth. So, yes. Here's a really, I love that you brought this one up. When you are in a place where you confide in someone, this is one of my biggest pet peeves. You confide in someone and they violate that. It angers me. Oh, it hurts. It just, and then I think, why did I choose that person to confide in? Why that person? If it's not my go-to person, right? So I always assume, and people that know me closely know this, um, I always assume that if you tell me something, it's for me. And people are like, oh, you can tell anybody that. I'm like, you didn't say I could tell anybody that. You told me. So yes, it's one of my triggers. It's definitely one of my triggers when I watch people who are so generous with sharing something that's deep to their soul, their heart, their skin. They probably never told anybody before, or they're in a place where they think they can share a little bit now, and you go and like share with the world. Yeah, no good, no good, no good. So let's see what Margarita, I gotta read from over here. She's Maji to me, but so I have to read from over here because you all know that, this is much easier than trying to. I pray to God to give me wisdom. So let's break this one down. She prays to God to give her wisdom. Okay. When I'm angry, because sometimes when we are angry, you will say things that you will regret. That's a good point. Bajo coraje uno puede decir cosas que luego se arrepiente y duele, porque entonces hay que pedir perdón, right? And I give it to God. That's how I brush it off. Wow, she was able to teach, right? She was able to teach. She was able to answer that question all the way. So she breaks it into the request for wisdom, okay? Because she does not want to say something that she'll regret later. And I know her, so she knows how to apologize. Well, she apologizes to me because she feeds me too much. She's never done anything that deserves an apology. And then she's able to brush it off, which means literally surrendering it and saying, I'm going to let it go. And it takes practice. Rosemary says, so true. So true. This is not an easy one. This topic is really hard for a lot of people. Again, and when I say I get criticized, I share it with you because if you feel like you get criticized, it's okay. It feels yucky sometimes. Other times you go, yeah, that makes perfect sense why you would criticize me. Yep, that makes perfect sense. I'm glad that you are uncomfortable with what I said because it's really, really, really what I believe. My intention is not to harm. That's the one thing that I try to clean right here, front lobe. No harm. No harm. Do 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 no harm. And sometimes by staying away from certain things, by working on your anger, my anger, people's anger, group's anger, I have been in the places that you would identify as the holiest of the holiest places and watch people tear each other apart. So there's no place that I've been to that I have not seen fire come out. So I'll give you this recently. And $50 are on the table, and Maji's ahead of the game. So, Juanita, unfortunately, can't take it. Oh, Guto, you're right there. So you guys are going to vote very soon. So someone can take $50 home, thanks to our sponsor. So there's so many times that we think that places are safe, right? And leadership, right? So putting people in leadership, cuando ponemos a alguien en liderazgo, tenemos que tener mucho, mucho, mucho cuidado. So sometimes we put people in leadership or we put ourselves in leadership. One of the things that I really admire is good leaders know how to listen. Good leaders know that they're responsible for many things, but most of all, for humans, people, right? So leaders, in my opinion, are very, very brave. I sometimes have been asked to lead something, and I've said to people, I am not the right person to lead. I do not have the experience or the wisdom to lead. And I have a lot of shelter issues with that particular thing you're asking me to lead. So I am ill equipped. And then people get angry. But I'm okay with that one. I'm okay with that one. And Luis and Juanita are going at it. He will not surrender. And this is all about sports, believe it or not. So anger. Let me just tell you, I've seen people anger about sports to the point where it just terrifies me. Kuto dice, buenos líderes están dispuestos a servir antes de ser servidos. Whoa! 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 Bring it home, bro. Oh, wow. Kuto, you gonna run? Va a correr para algo, because I love this. Kuto just tells us, right? He says, good leaders are always willing to serve before they are served. Wow. Heart it up for Kuto, man, because that is like huge. That is huge. A good leader. A good leader always knows to honor, respect their team also. I love my team. Okay, I love my team. I do. I love my Juanita. I love my Jay. I love my Mike. I love the team that we have been able to create. And I think of them. And I absolutely want to hear what they're thinking, what they're feeling. Even my marketing guys, I'm like, okay, what do you think about this? How does it go? How does it feel for you? And then I can make an informed decision. And I try to be as generous as I can. Oh, Bakuto, that's just like, woof. That's almost preaching, man. Wow, I really, really love that. I really, really love that because it is so true. Estamos llegando al final del programa, señoras y señores. Ustedes son los que tienen que escoger. You guys are the ones who have to choose. Who's your winner? You're the one who has to choose. See, people like to talk junk about my team. That really makes me angry, just saying. So, Juanita and Luis right now are part of two different teams. And so they go at it all the time. But there's a lot of love there. At least there's hope. I hope there's a lot of love there. So sports can make, I've seen, well, you guys have seen it on TV, right? People go just nuts. Sometimes, and it's just, I don't know. To me, it's really hard to understand. Tan buen tema. Yes, it is one that I've been, many people have said to me after trainings, could you please do shows on anger? Can we join on the private trainings? So if you're interested, you can hit us up, and we're going to put trainings up coming now for, Kathleen, you probably are a magical soul for this. Anger. Kathleen St. Ars is the author of the book that I've been talking about, but also is a nurse. So I'm a retired nurse. Very loved from Bristol Hospital, but I can only imagine the type of anger that one can see as a nurse with people in pain or whatever it is going on, and also for survivors. So I wanted to share this topic with you guys. A lot of people, believe it or not, over 60 something people wrote to me after my last training that I did, and it was virtual. And they were, and I kept it in my notebook. They were like, can you please talk more about anger and the strategies? And so now we're just having a discussion. In my trainings, you get the strategies that I use, my toolbox, and how do I use it, and what works for me, and what doesn't work for me, and what works for other people, and it doesn't work for everybody. One size doesn't fit all, and so on and so forth. So I do a lot of that in my trainings, and I have some community of faith who bring me in and say, okay, I want you to talk about this topic because it is one that everybody feels. It's anger, right? I don't know if they say this in English, but in Spanish, they say that there's a very thin line between love and anger, anger and love. So you can cross over at times. So deberías hablar de rencor. Oh, Juanita, make note. That's a good one, Kuto. That is definitely a good one. We should talk about what? ¿Quién me dice rencor? Does anybody know what rencor means? Does anybody know what rencor means? This is the bilingual show. You better start picking up some stuff. Resentment. It's resentment. When we resent and we hold on to it and we hold on to it, and it's 10 and it's 15 years and it's 30 years and you're in your deathbed. Hopefully I'm never in my deathbed, or hopefully I'll close my eyes and, go to higher heaven. But yeah, that, that pain inside of you rather carry it forever. Forever. I won't talk to you. I just won't talk to you. All right. You didn't do things the way I wanted you to do. You hurt my feelings. I never told you about it. You should have known. I never addressed it, but you should have known. And now you wonder why I don't look at you or talk to you or go to your gatherings or support your project or don't support your project or whatever it is. It will eat you up. This is very, very true. It will eat you up. So I invite all of you to think about anger as one of the natural emotions that happens. And how can we work on it so we don't live in woundology for the rest of our lives? Because we will be bleeding for the rest of our lives if we don't find a way to honor that anger. It comes from somewhere. It triggered something. You were violated in a certain way. You misunderstood someone. You never wanted to have a conversation. You just, maybe sometimes things are not even directed at you. Sometimes it's not. My girl, Chris. Oh my God, what an honor to have my girl, Chris here. Oh, my peeps are here. Anger is a true emotion. So when we run away from it and we don't work on it, it eats us alive. It tears us up inside. It tears families. Oh my God, it just takes you to places that you would never imagine. And you go, oh my God, I am still angry about that. I am still angry about that. And there's a lot of anger I've had to deal with because I'm supposed to be angry about being violated. I'm supposed to be angry about someone violating my trust. I'm supposed to be angry about these things. But here's one thing. Kathleen has a really good one. Hello, my friend. Hello to you, Kathleen. Anger is a really important topic. My first instinct is to breathe before responding. You got a team member, Wandy. Anger is a feeling. It's okay to have. Oh, can we give all of us permission to be angry? Please, everybody get permission. You got permission right now. It is a process to learn how to deal with. I tend to cry when I feel anger. Just. Breathing, a lot of breathing. Yeah. Va casi agarrado de la mano el rencor y el coraje. You are so right, Kudo. They are partners. Okay? Anger, resentment. Those are partners. They like to dance with each other and make you miserable. Ugh. Bang, bang. Thank you for being here. So for all of you, I just really want you to think about this week. The holidays for a lot of people who celebrate, all of these holidays coming up. Not everybody does. How many holidays, how many years have you cried because you missed a loved one? You wish you would have said something. You wish you would have forgiven. You wish that person would have told you that they were angry with you so you could apologize. You wish that you would have made that phone call. You never said, it's okay, Lydia, to be angry. That's actually my real name. It's okay to be angry. Yes, it's okay. Giving yourself permission. It's okay to be angry. I've gotten diagnosed 3 times in my life with 3 things I didn't like. And the first one I wasn't angry about. It was just kind of like I was kind of lost. The second one I was really angry about because it stripped me of everything. The third one, I didn't recognize I was angry. And to someone said, "What are you feeling?" And I had to pause and really look inside. And I was really angry. I was really angry. And I was holding on tight, holding on really, really tight. So I am not above anybody. I have to do my work just like everybody does. But it scares me a lot because as it gets colder out there, you will see a lot of activity from me and a lot of requests. I need gloves, I need this, I need that. And I will anger you and probably annoy you and all of that kind of stuff. And it's because I'm seeing, just like many of you see, the pain right here directly. And it's when we see a lot of the domestic violence right in our faces, they did. Everything is in our face. It's cold. People get tired. People get hungry. They're outside. People in homes, economy is affecting a lot of people. People have lost their jobs, have lost their properties. People are dealing with, their elderly parents. People are not dealing with elderly parents. People are having, their own situations. People are lonely. All of these things happen. But when fall comes and winter comes, and you can't like walk as easily in the park, or you can't like hang out with your friends like you used to, it gets dark earlier, there's seasonal depression, all those kind of things, that brings a lot of anger for people. And one of the best things that I've heard in the past 10 years is don't confuse anger with sadness. And all of these emotions tend to want to dance together all the time, right? And sadness does not always bring tears. I've had people say to me, "But you say you're sad, but I haven't seen you cry." I'm like, I am sad. I don't feel um, the tears. They're not available to me, and I don't even know if they will be. Um, Hay personas que te hacen algo y no saben perdonar y todavía tienen ese rencor. Yes, there are people who who are the offenders. They don't know how to forgive or ask for forgiveness. You're so right, Margarita. And then they hold resentment towards you. It's so true. So true. So start voting. Start voting. You got Kuto and you got Margarita. And you have Kathleen here giving us all of these beautiful, beautiful nuggets that we can hold on to. My anger does not look like the anger of my perpetrator, I'm sorry. I always thought it would. But I express anger, but I am a million times kinder than my perpetrator. Whoa, 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 whoa. I don't have to hurt others when I'm angry. I had to learn that. That helped to set me free and to free me. Ellos no tienen que pedir perdón, tú tienes que perdonarlos por tu salud mental. Kuto says, sometimes, well, he doesn't say sometimes, they don't have to ask for forgiveness. You want to forgive them for your mental health. I hope that you enjoy every time we get together. Start voting. You got 3 people here. So you have Kathleen, you got Kuto, who's like a wizard. I'd love to have some brothers in here with us, and they've been sharing their wisdom with us. You have Margarita. So you have three. So you have Margarita, you have Kuto, and you have Kathleen, who's going to take home the $50. Ellos no tienen que pedir perdón, tú tienes que perdonarlos. Kuto is probably the best thing sometimes, is to almost forgive for them. So true. And so there are topics. Kuto already expressed what topic he wants to see next. And it's this, the feeling that we carry inside, this just pain that we carry inside of, I am never talking to you again. I'm angry. And then with that comes what? There's a lot of emotions that come with that. There's a lot of emotions that come with that. Isdelis Lopez, gracias por estar con nosotros. Thank you for being with us. So for all of you, start voting. We can't close the show without voting. You gotta vote. Who takes the $50 home today here on Lilly Sin Barreras? Well, while you guys vote, I'll give you a few minutes to vote. I'll drink some of my tea. Will you allow me to thank publicly my husband, who's always Kuto? They're voting for Kuto. Start dropping it. They're voting for Kuto right now. Please allow me to. My husband always wants to win. He can't win. Can somebody explain it to him? So I hear Kuto here. I need at least 3 votes. Kuto has my vote. Wanda says Kuto has a vote. He's up in the votes. To thank my husband, because he has been one of the biggest supporters of my addressing that anger, surviving that anger, living through it, and he's my ride or die. So I say it all the time. And sometimes people say, you talk a lot about love is love. What can I tell you? If you love, you love. And it's okay. Oh, Kathleen, what am I going to do with you? So we are going to talk about that resentment very, very soon, Kuto. You think about it. Maybe you want to join us in that conversation. Many of you want to join us in that conversation to talk about that. We're going to have several programs. Love is love. Yes, love is love. And when you are blessed to have people in your life as close as I do, and who will walk with you and love you when you wake up in the morning and don't have all the makeup and all of this kind of stuff, and still bring you a cup of coffee and go, you look so beautiful today. My mama does that too. So it doesn't always have to be a romantic relationship. Love, 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 and love as hard as you can, man. Love is beautiful. Give it out, give it out. It's for free. Receive it and give it. Receive it and give it. Estaré ahí pendiente. Oh my God, Kuto says yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, Kuto has gotten the votes. Kuto, hit me up and let me know how we get it to you. Either Cash App, Zelle, or PayPal. You are the winner for tonight. I want to close by saying this. Love is not complicated, but it is brave. Love is very brave, not complicated. We people are complicated, but love is beautiful and simple and kind and tough and generous. But when you love with conditions, this is the way you have to be so I can love you. Maybe you're in a relationship, but it's not about love. Because this whole crap that they sell you, because it's crap, about marriage, relationships are 50-50. That's how it sounds in my head. Not true. Some days you're going to give 50 and the other person gives 40. Some days a person carries you and they give 90 and you end up giving 10. And it balances each other out, and so on and so forth. So, all this stuff that they sell you out there, manage your time. Life is this. If you ask for it, you're going to get it. Blah, 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 blah. Life coach, this coach, that coach, that. You can hire a coach to blink. And I have amazing coaches on the show alone. But man, when are you going to start coaching yourself? So in my belief, may God bless you. May you walk always ready to love and to receive it. Okay, that doesn't mean you don't get angry. You don't get sad. As my granddaughter would say, surprise. I think it's like this. The mouth. I can't do it right now. The youngest one. I love my oldest grandbaby who I could have a conversation with today as I was folding laundry. And that was amazing. Unconditional love. Love, 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 love. If I live in love and give as much love as I can, and the day I close my eyes and in my belief, Papa Diosito says, you're done. Thank you. Thank you, Chris. You're full of love. Then I feel like I've done my job. I don't want to be remembered by the best paper I wrote or by the best show I have. Yeah, I want to give you the best of me. But if you can remember that I made you feel love, right? My presence honored, and that I cared about you, I'm good. Good night, everybody. Kuto, you are the winner. You got to let us know, how do we get those $50 to you? I love you, Chris. Thank you, Rosemary. Thank you, Kathleen. Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you, Hahiki. I had to practice that. Did you see? Thank you, Wanda. Thank you, Margarita. You know what? I'm going to tell you this. Marisol Wick, which is a great supporter, watches my show later on, as many other people do. So let me thank her now. She's a follower and always does, and watches the show later on. So I'm going to thank you now, Marisol. So. I love you guys. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for believing in us. Thank you for allowing us to get to the place on Facebook where we can get stars. I love you too, Rosemary. Your smile is so beautiful every time in our community of faith. Thank you for allowing us to get here. Thank you for your support. We're getting to good places with everything you have offered us. And we hope that we always open a space here for you, for faith, love, courage, and let's kick ass when we need to. Good night, everybody. See you soon.